I am so excited for what is coming very, very soon. I briefly hinted at it yesterday. Nobody guessed it right. And I didn't think you would because you probably aren't expecting this. And you may not see it as big of a deal as I see it. And don't mind my little curly curls that are drying right now. I can't do anything about my baby hairs until all this dries. So we're just going to let that sit there. But anyway, I'm super excited. Seint is launching something so exciting next week. And this was something that we got hinted at back in September at the artist reunion. And you may have seen it floating around. People have asked about it. People have asked about something coming back. Is this going to be sold individually? And if you haven't guessed it by now, Seint is launching pressed pigments. Now you're probably like, Michelle, what is the difference between pressed pigments and eyeshadows? I just thought they were all eyeshadows. No, it's different. So a pressed pigment is a lot more concentrated. It is basically, think of it just like as the pigment in its purest form. So whenever they say something is really, really pigmented, like this is something that is really, really pigmented. So what makes it different than like regular eyeshadows? One, the color payoff is a lot higher. Two, there's a lot more versatility in a pressed pigment than there is in a regular eyeshadow. And three, the staying power is a lot stronger in a pigment because it is a lot purer. So are you ready for the grand reveal? Because it's in here. It's going to come in a collection, and it's also going to be sold individually, and there's going to be a special promo that I'm going to talk about at the end, so make sure you stay tuned. Are you ready? Are you ready? I had this on my face yesterday, by the way. That's how versatile it is. Oh, how gorgeous are these shades? Okay. Here we have 20 pressed pigments. And one of the pressed pigment shades that I've subtly been hinting at is Baker Street. Okay, I found out about this last week. So a really cool perk is that as a Seint artist, is that we actually get sneak peeks of products, but we're told that we cannot say anything until a certain time. So this is the first time that they actually do this exact thing where they've told us with a lot more time and basically told us, hey, we're going to let you purchase the products a little bit ahead of time so that you can create content, you can talk about it with your customers and all this stuff, but you can't say anything to anyone until we start promoting it and until this date. So today is the date that they finally told me, and I'm like, I'm so bad at keeping secrets. Let me know if you also are the same exact way, because I'm the worst. But these are absolutely stunning. There's nothing like these in the current Seint lineup. And like I said, this is a totally different formula than what you are used to. These are like at its purest form. They can be used for so many different things. The number one thing that you probably are thinking, and by the way, they are powder formula, is eyeshadow. But like I mentioned, I used this on my face yesterday to do what is called the demi method application, where you basically balance out the face first, add color first, and then remove excess color using the cream correctors, which are these right here. And yes, of course, I filmed a video for you. I filmed the whole first impression. So I will have all of that up for you very, very soon. But like I said, again, I wasn't allowed to share anything, so I just had to keep it to myself. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and do a swatch session of this. But like I mentioned, these are going to be available as a collection. Now, not everyone's going to need the collection. Me, as a makeup artist, of course, I needed the collection because these are all shades that I would use. I'm actually going to be doing a live today using some of the greens. So it was funny because it's just so funny whenever things are like perfectly planned, whenever I plan something and then it's like, oh, well, this is about to launch, so now you can use this. Because for the longest time, whenever I would do bright, fun, colorful looks with Seint eyeshadows, we didn't really have a lot of, or Seint didn't really have a lot of colorful, bright eyeshadows to do certain things. So I would have to either like mix and match or create my own, or even like use something from another brand, which isn't a bad thing. But the reason why I love Seint Beauty is because of the fact of the convenience, the fact that everything fits in one palette. I don't have to go rummaging through. I don't have to have 20 million palettes to create one look. Like I can do it all out of one. And this is something that I actually, when I was in the advisory committee, had requested for brighter, colorful eyeshadows like this. I don't remember if I mentioned that it being pressed pigments, but I do remember like suggesting, especially like these yellows right here. Like I said, like matte yellows, matte purples, you know, just like really bright colors for the people who want more colorful things. And I never thought it was going to happen because I didn't think it was really on brand with Seint. But when Kara developed these and when she showed them, she showed how you can use them for so many different things. So what's great, like you see these middle shades right here, or whatever you want to call it, the third row, these can be used as blushes. So you can use them as a powder blush. You can use them as a blush topper. You can mix and match. And I'm going to be doing a whole masterclass all about how to use the pressed pigments and different ways to use the pressed pigments, and also like do's and don'ts for them too, because this is going to be a different formula than what you're probably used to. One thing that you need to know, again, because these are in its purest form, they may leave a stain on your brush, but it does come out if you use the Seint brush cleaner, the soap. It does come out with the soap. If you use the regular spray cleaner, especially with the greens and stuff, green and blue eyeshadows are always a color that always stains, and in a pressed pigment form, it's going to be a lot more powerful. Another thing too that you want to keep in mind, and we'll talk more about this too next week, because I really want to make sure that you just feel really comfortable with using this formula. Little tips and tricks on like what I'm learning, because I just got these in the mail on Monday, so I've not played with them too much besides the time that I played with them at Artist Reunion and the time that I played with them this week. But I have played with pressed pigments before, so I do have some knowledge on how to use them. But anyways, a couple of these shades, especially the more redder pink shades, they're not safe for eye use. So what does that mean? It just means that there is a red pigment that is in there that technically speaking has been known to cause some like sensitivity on certain eyes. So it's something to keep in mind. How would you know that this is something that is going to affect you? If you're like, I want to use those reds on my eyes, I would definitely do some kind of patch test, like near the eyelid as much as you could, and just kind of see if that's something that causes irritability. You'll know because your skin will start feeling kind of sensitive. It'll start feeling kind of itchy, and that's going to let you know. They also may cause more staining because of how intensely pigmented they are. So these are just things to keep in mind. But again, I use them as blushes. I use them as lip color. I actually even use these down here as lip liner. Like my whole entire face was basically this and the cream correctors, and that was it. So I didn't have anything else on my face, just this, and then like literally 3 of the correctors, my 3 right here. I can't point at them because I have something else in my hand. But anyways, I'm so excited for this. So we'll get right into it. We're going to do the swatch session, and I'm going to go live over on Instagram to do the Simplify the Look. It might take me a little bit to do that live though, because I do have to still do my face, and I always usually do one eye before I go live, just because sometimes things happen and I don't like to like figure things out while I'm going live, to make it a little bit faster so that it's not an hour long of me trying to figure out like certain things. Like I will come with you with like kind of like, okay, here we go, we figured this out, I'm going to teach you how I did this type of thing. Anyway, all right, let's get right into it. So these shades here, I actually used as contour and bronzer to add color back into the face. And like when I tell you, they're so pigmented, they are so pigmented. So this first shade here is Daisy. Let me take my watch off. Okay. All right. So we have Daisy. I'm going to start back here. Now this one you probably won't see as much on my skin because it almost blends into my skin, but on like lighter skin you could definitely see it. And I'm going to share my swatches from the Artist Reunion because that was like when I had the best lighting. This next shade here is called Dandelion, and it is literally so gorgeous. It reminds me of MAC had a eyeshadow called Goldenrod, I believe, and it was just like this. So gorgeous. All right, and I'm not like going too into the palettes either. Look at that. They're like basically on my hand. It is intense for sure. Santa Fe is the next color. This is actually going to be a really gorgeous color. And yes, you can use these with the regular eyeshadows. I'm going to show that today in the live. But on Monday, we will do a masterclass all about the pressed pigments, how to use them, do's and don'ts, different tips and tricks, different techniques. I'll do like face swatches, all the things that you want to see, because that's when they're going to be available. They'll be available on Monday. There's going to be a free gift with purchase. So when you purchase, I can't remember if it's when you purchase 3 that you get the shade Lucky for free, or if it's when you purchase 4, you get the shade Lucky for free. And that's going to go on until the end of the month. This is a shade called Cowboy. Really beautiful, like taupey brown. Then you have the shade Pistachio. I'm going to have to get like a napkin or something. I just wish you could feel how buttery they are. I mean, if you know Seint eyeshadows, you know they're buttery, but this is like a different level. It's like velvet, like, because it is a different formula. It's more intense. And this is something that you could even use on the face too. Like, don't be fooled. I will tell you, full disclaimer, I tried using some of these shades as like color correctors. They're too pigmented for color correctors. Then we have the more brighter shades. We have Maldives. Look at that. I'll probably have to build onto these. There we go. Then we have Lucky. Sorry, I'm gonna have to get a napkin, hold on. Looks so interesting. They really are. They are a lot of fun. I definitely will tell you what shades I think people are going to like gravitate towards the most. But if you are wanting Baker Street, it will be available individually. So all these shades will be available individually or as a collection starting Monday. Lucky is the next shade. So it is kind of like a more olivey matte green, which I really love because Seint did not have a shade like this. Like they had 33, which was a shimmer version of this. And this is like way more intense. Then you have Juniper. I believe that's what this color is called, which I'm like, where was this when the Eagles win the Super Bowl? Because this is like the perfect shade. So gorgeous. Okay. Then we have Blue Suede, which is this really pretty gray color that, oh my gosh, I just really wish you could feel this formula. It just feels so nice. Probably should have made this tighter because I'm not going to be able to fit all of these swatches. So there is, what did I say? Blue Suede. I'm going to try my best to fit them all. I'm going to use my pinky. Then we have Raindrop. So it is this pretty blue shade. This looks very similar. Like these 3 shades are very similar, but they are also different. So they're not going to be for everybody, and that's okay. But for the people who are wanting it, that's who this is going to be for. Definitely want Baker Street. Baker Street is so beautiful, and you can use it as eyeliner. You can use all of these as eyeliner, which is what we're going to do today on Instagram. Then we have, okay, this is one of the shades that's not intended for eye use, just meaning that, again, you may have sensitivities to it. I personally don't, so I will use them on my eyes, but proceed with caution, okay? We have Days. So she is like a more electric orange. You can use this as blush, as a lip color, as a blush topper. I will say, usually blues are not as like buttery as like reds and purples and stuff, and that's just from the pigment. That's always been the case. Coral is the next color. I'm still learning all these shades because there's a lot of them. It's 20 new shades. Give me a break. So we have Coral. Look at how gorgeous Coral is. Oh my gosh. Pair that with Madrid on the cheeks. So good. Then you have Guava, which is so gorgeous. This is another one that's not safe for eye use. So just be cautious with it. But it reminds me of one of my favorite demi correctors called RO7. Hold on. All right. Then we have Everly. Yeah, they're not gonna fit on my hand. I really wanted them to. I'm gonna have to do it all over again. Because the original swatch that I had, this is the like awkward part of my hand where it's like things don't swatch well here. Anyways, the original swatches that I had were not in color coordination like I have it like here. But I'll share that one because it's a lot prettier. Then we have Ladybug, another one that's not intended or not safe for eye use. This is literally a pure red. I remember when I first started as a makeup artist, always wanting brands to come out with a red that was not pink, that was red. And this is this. Now, again, this is something that you can, I don't know why it's pulling a little more pink on the camera because in person it's definitely red. But this is a color that you can mix and make a lip color out of. You can use it as a blush. I actually, when I first started using these, I mixed like all of these as my blushes. All right, now we have next shade called Figaro, which is a little bit more of a slate blue. I'm gonna just compare it next to Blue Suede so you can see that it is a little bit more gray while Blue Suede is more blue, right? Then we have Lilac, which is similar to Lily, but it's actually a little bit more purple versus white. I have to put Figaro there. It's gonna bother me. Okay. Actually, no, I'm a little crazy, so I need to do things in the way that I need to do them. So don't even mind me. We're just gonna put Lilac there because Lilac kind of belongs here, but we're just gonna put her over there. Okay. Then we have this shade here called Honeymoon. Super gorgeous. It is like a beautiful, like rusty brown. No, these are not lip and cheeks. These are pressed pigments, but you can mix them with the balm. We're gonna have a whole entire masterclass on this. You can mix them with the balm. You can mix them with the lip and cheek. You can use them on their own. They are a powder formula, but they're more intense than the regular eyeshadows, so they're pigments. Baker Street. And if you thought you loved Baker Street, again, this is where my swatches never look good because of all my bones and stuff there. Anyway, you're gonna love this shade here. This is the shade we have been begging for. It is called Lyra, and it is a beautiful, deep matte purple. Look at that. Lyra, right there. Gorgeous. All right, somehow I have to put Blue Suede in here. So we're going to, sorry, not Blue Suede, Figaro. We're going to erase these two. Y'all, I told you I'm crazy. Okay, just go with it. See how that's staining a little bit there? Okay. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put Blue Suede. Hold on, let me use my pinky. Okay, Blue Suede. We're gonna make her a little tighter there. Figaro. Because I really want to see them side by side. And then Raindrop. Okay, we made it work. We got them to all fit on my arm, guys. Okay. What was the orange called again? Dazed, I think. No. Is it Dazed? Yes, it is Dazed. And then Coral. Oh, there we go. I'm going to put Lilac in the beginning. Sorry, I keep moving these. I'm going to put it right here. There's where Lilac is going to go because that makes more sense to me. So there we have it. 20 pressed pigments that you can use on your face, you can use on your eyes, except for the 3 that, remember, they're just gonna stain a little bit, maybe may cause irritation, so just proceed with caution. You can use as blush, you can wear it as full face of makeup like I did with the demi method. I used these shades right here, these 4, and then I did these 3 right here, and then I used these 2 and maybe this one, can't remember, but you'll have to stay tuned for the tutorial. So I'll definitely be sharing more on that. Masterclass is going to be on Monday. It will be on Monday. Same cost as regular eyeshadows, $14. Same size too, except this is more intense pigment, so it's way higher color payoff. Doesn't have any like fillers, so this is something that you just want to use a very slight hand with. I know that not everyone's gonna love like the bright colors, and that's okay, but again, they'll be available individually, and they'll be available individually, and you can get the promotion. I think it's, I have to double check. I'll share later on more details on it, but whether if it's buy 4 and get the free lucky eyeshadow, or if it's buy 3 and get the free lucky eyeshadow. And that promotion, I think actually, let me double check, because I can't remember if it is until the end of the month or if it's until the 18th. I just was so excited to go live that I just needed to do it. I'm like, I've been waiting for this. Like I barely slept because I'm just so excited. So anyways, I'll be going live on Instagram, sharing how I use the greens on my eyes today, and probably using some of the like reds and pinks and whatever as blush and whatnot, and just kind of showing the versatility in this. But I think that this is something that is going to be really exciting because it really opens up your mind a little bit more to like the world of makeup and the possibilities. And I want you to get a little bit creative and think outside the box, you know, and like know that you can make your own custom thing. Again, the difference with this versus a regular eyeshadow is color payoff, longevity, the way that it wears on the eyes, the way that it feels, the way that it mixes with other colors. It's a pure pigment, so it's not going to turn as muddy as something that, you know, is not pure pigment. So anyways, very, very excited for this. Let me know what shade you're excited for. Here are the swatches again, and I will post a picture, of course, for you later on. So just stay tuned for all the things. And I'll also be sharing that invite. So it's going to be a pressed pigment masterclass. We're going to do the live on Monday. And then throughout the rest of the week, I'm going to be sharing different ways that you can use the pressed pigments. And of course, if you need any recommendations, my inbox is always open. These will be available March 17th at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Alrighty, y'all. Love you guys. Thank you for watching.